they would call in and say the most horrid things about Alabama I've ever heard. And I thought, can't let them get away with that.
I will never forget it, and I'm looking forward to next year. The dynasty is not over. It's not over now, not tomorrow, not next year. It's never going to be over. You better shut your freaking mouth. You understand me, you little weasel?
He's still got me on his case for 2 more years, at least.
Bama did great. I'm proud of them. And roll damn Tide. That's all I can say is roll Tide. Bye.
Thank you, Phyllis.
Well, there you have it, folks. I don't know what other way to describe Phyllis Perkins, but just Phyllis from Mulga, my favorite fan. Introduced to her when I watched you on the Feinbaum show. You really tell Feinbaum how to have it, because he makes you mad sometimes.
Yeah, he makes me mad. And you know, when he tells me to shut up, I tell him to shut up right back. Yeah. You know, you shut up, Paul. Yeah. I'm going to get out. I took my time to call in. I'm going to get out what I have to say, because Jim Tuscaloosa gets out everything he needs to say 6, 7, 9 times a day. Yeah. So what's up with that?
Yeah, well, listen, how'd you become a Bama fan?
Oh, my God, since sitting on my daddy's knee when I was 4 or 5 years old, and my 5 brothers all around us. When Bama wasn't playing on TV, we had this great big, looked like a jukebox radio. And that thing, you could hear it all over the neighborhood. And Daddy would blast Alabama football on that radio. We'd sit around that radio for hours listening to the games and yelling Roll Tide. And our daddy just instilled in us what being an Alabama fan was like.
It's interesting because I know you get really angry when people talk about Clemson in this matchup and how the defense didn't play well last time they met, and that, in fact, Clemson has the edge. How do you feel about that?
Well, Clemson may have the edge as far as the stats are concerned, but as far as a football game is concerned, we've got Saban. We've got Sarkisian. We've got all of our offense. We've got our defense, the best in the country. Clemson, it's the best in the country. And I just don't think that Clemson is going to edge us out. Close, probably be a close game. But it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out, a day of reckoning. And Bama's going to win.
A day of reckoning.
A day of reckoning.
And speaking of a day of reckoning, let's bring in Paul Feinbaum. Reckoning. Paul, we've got Phyllis from Mulga here. Do you have any questions for her? You really upset her sometimes, Paul. Yeah. You let Jim Tuscaloosa speak all the time, 6, 7, 9 times. How come she can't say what she wants?
Phyllis, I don't want to upset you here, but Danny Cannell and Mike Greenberg, they're all leaning toward Clemson beating your favored Crimson Tide. What do you have to say to these people who say the Tide is not going to win Monday night?
They're out of their freaking minds, Finebaum. Danny told me that he would pull from Alabama. Danny, you just stabbed me in the back. That's what you did, and I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to tell you something. It just makes me happy that we've got that many naysayers to put in their place come Monday night, because Bama's going to hit that field. They're going to roll. They're going to roll over them. Clemson is an excellent team, but not as good as Bama. Bama's the best in the country, and that's all there is to it. You can't beat the best, and Bama is the best. They are, Paul.
Paul, you're upsetting her already, Paul.
Cari, we have a present. Phyllis and I have quite a past, and
you did.
I have to say, in full disclosure, that you're the greatest caller in talk show history, and you're the embodiment of what Alabama football is all about. And I can't upset you anymore. I just don't think it's fair. But thanks for everything, Phyllis, and I hope.
Paul, thank you, and that's so nice of you to say so. But I want to ask you something. Do you think Bama's going to win, Paul? I want
Phyllis,
an answer.
How long have you been listening to me? Don't ask me stupid questions. Don't ask me stupid questions.
How long
on
have you been
national
listening
television.
to him?
You know who I'm
Since
picking
'93.
Monday night. Well, it's going to be Bama. It will be Bama, Phyllis. I promise you. Cari, now you know what I go through every day.
Paul, listen, I appreciate her. She is beyond the best. This is her first time on the field here. How does it feel?
I've never stepped on this ground. Paul, I was sitting in the chair a while ago, and I was looking down at the grass. This is where our team runs and tackles and plays. And all I could think of was, my God, this honor. This is the greatest honor I think I've ever had in my life. This is my football stadium. This is my team. This is my dynasty, cow turd.
Well, I know we're not allowed to bring up Colin Cowherd, but 2 years ago, Cari, after Alabama lost to Ohio State, Cowherd said the Tide will never win again. The dynasty's over. Auburn will take over. Ohio State's better.
Nuts.
And Phyllis reacted to that in an epic fashion.
He's nuts. He's as nuts as he was the day he left there. He don't know what he's talking about, Paul.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that, and that's where the cow turd came from, huh? Okay,
exactly.
Well,
I told him he needed to be out in the pasture.
Well, we know that Alabama is doing well, and you want to give a roll tide before we get out of here?
Roll, Tide, roll. Bama, you're going to do it. I have faith in you. I believe in you, and the whole Bama nation loves you. We all know you're going to do it. You know why? Because you are the Alabama Crimson Tide dynasty.
She's our top 5 judge for the top 5 Alabama players, folks. I don't know what else to say. We'll be back just a few moments.